What's up, YouTube? It's your guy, Larry, Vampire Blocker. Larry, aka Vampire Blocker, aka Larry, whatever you want to do. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Today's video, we're going to get into some YouTube influencers who think they can outsmart the markets. But before I do, like, subscribe. I said that already, but not a financial planner, not a life coach, not a financial guru, not like some of these other people that think they can outsmart Mr. Market. So let's get into the show, the reason why you clicked on it. I would say he's a decent sized YouTube influencer, Joseph Carlson. Me and him been having some spats. It's not on, Instagram or anything like that, because I don't have Instagram and I refuse to have Instagram because I really don't care about people's fake lives, because that's what a lot of people post on Instagram. Now, I came at him in the comments and I asked him a question. He has two different funds. He has a passive income fund and he has a fund called a story fund. Now, I asked him some comments about his story fund, and he literally couldn't give me straightforward answers. And anybody who watches him knows, I bought Domino's Pizza because I believe Domino's Pizza brings great money. This is real money that's in my account and money that I can spend on anything I want. Now, if I were him when I created that story fund, the first thing I would have said was this: I'm creating a fund that I'm going to try to beat the market. There's a very good chance I'm going to lose, because a lot of your money managers cannot beat index funds over a 5 to 10 year span. Now, with that said, that's how you present that fund to people who follow you. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is these people don't make their money from their career. They don't make the majority of their money from them being great of them making their content. What they do is they make their money on telling you what they think they're going to buy and where they think stocks are going to be, pretty much. What they're pretty much doing is giving you sports betting tips. All right. Now, if you take a look at a lot of YouTube influencers that talk about certain stocks that they're purchasing, that's kind of like, you got to read between the lines pretty much on that. Now, he bought Netflix. He made a video almost 9 months ago saying how Netflix will go to $900. It didn't. And Netflix is in a crapper. He made a video about Alibaba. Alibaba's in a crapper. He made a video about Shopify. Shopify's in a crapper. He made a video about Amazon. Amazon, it took a deep dive. And then one of the things in a comment that he actually replied to me, he said, the reason why I'm buying these big tech companies is because money managers, they can't outperform the S&P 500 is because they're forced to buy and sell different things to please their shareholders. He's actually right on that. He is right. But the one thing that he said that kind of got me, he said, I can invest more in heavy tech and they can't. Actually, they can. It's called a technology index fund. Vanguard has one. I'm in it. Fidelity has one. Okay? Any big institution, if you search it, will have a technology fund where they're overloaded more on technologies. But the difference is they pay a dividend. Some of them pay a dividend. It's not much, but they pay a dividend. And some of them are weighed in on bigger, better companies, not speculative companies like him and Kathy Woods. Now, what you don't understand, and a lot of you guys don't understand, he makes his money, and a lot of YouTube influencers, they make their money on Patreon, they make their money on the views, they make their money on advertising. They can afford to lose that money and take huge risks in the market. If it doesn't work out, he still has 4 or 5 different income streams. Now, he tries to quote Bill Ackman and Peter Lynch and Warren Buffett. He's not them. He's another YouTube influencer with another investment software thing that he thinks he can find the dips, and he thinks he can beat the market. Now, I offered him up a bet that he didn't even want to take. I said, I bet you $5,000 that over a 5 to 10 year span, we can get the lawyers to draw it up, that you won't beat a simple S&P 500 fund. He didn't want to take that. You want to know why? He's not going to take that because he's not going to tell you that his portfolio is speculative. He's taking a huge L right now. All these speculative stocks, and by the way, he's not smart enough to understand that people bought Netflix and purchased Netflix because they had extra cash. Free cash was given out, so they splurged on eating out. They splurged on streaming platforms. Why? People were going to be home. They didn't know how long they were going to be home, so they purchased different streaming platforms. He jumps in Netflix. I invest in Domino's Pizza because Bill Ackman, he's getting his stuff from the news, which you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to get your information on what other people are buying. You're supposed to buy them because you use them and you love them. Maybe he uses Domino's Pizza. He looks like he doesn't leave his room or his basement or his house. Maybe he thinks he's Mark Zuckerberg. He likes to wear the same thing every day. He looks disheveled without a haircut. Now here's something. He likes to use Peter Lynch. Peter Lynch said this. You invest in things when you're close to an industry. You got to get out the house and live a little, my man. You would know that people have been locked down for 2 years. They don't want to be in the house watching TV. They want to be outside. They want to be seeing family. They don't want to be stuck in a movie theater. They want to have barbecues. They want to get out and see family. A lot of people lost family over this whole pandemic thing. I lost my mom due to it. A lot of people want to get and hug and touch family. They want to hug family because they miss them. A lot of family couldn't even go to funerals with other family because there was a limit on how many people you could have at a funeral. Now, these YouTube influencers, they make all these different platforms that they think they could beat the market. If they were so smart, why are they not working at Berkshire Hathaway? Why are they not working at Goldman Sachs? Why are they not working at JP Morgan? Why are they not working in Wealthfront or Betterment with their algorithms? Now, listen, he actually responded to that. He said, it's because I make enough money on YouTube. Well, exactly. The reason why you're able to take those risks is because you make money on YouTube. But people do follow people. They follow them to the T. You got to take everything they say with a grain of salt. That's why I say, if you invest in a simple S&P 500, simple total stock market index fund, or an international fund, or if you love tech, you can invest in a tech fund and you'll get all the biggest tech stocks when they become at a certain market cap and they actually are producing revenue. So my video today is calling out people like him. You want to act smarter than you really are. You're just another person who thinks you can beat Mr. Market. Even in the Intelligent Investor, they talk about how doctors think they can beat the market because they have so many degrees and they end up underperforming, cutting their own percentage of returns down because they don't want to take the best advice that is given to them. Now, I said it again. The Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort, said, a simple S&P 500 fund will outperform 95% of your money managers and your mutual fund money managers who think they can beat Mr. Market. The goal is not to beat Mr. Market. It's not a football game. It's not a baseball game. You got to do what's best for you. If somebody makes 20% returns, who cares if you make 10? The goal is to get where you want to go. It is a marathon. It is not a sprint. Now, he can't even say he never said that he doesn't want to beat the S&P. In his funds, in his videos, he says this story fund is to beat the S&P. I want to outperform the market. Now, here's another thing he doesn't understand. He came out and said in his comment, well, money managers outperform the S&P all the time. And yeah, they do. They get stocks at a huge block discount. They're moving billions of dollars. They're getting into IPOs before they become IPOs. And guess what? They can put that in their fund and say, look at our returns. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people are invested in IPOs before they go public, and they can count that as a percentage of their fund going up. A lot of people, that they have something called unincubated funds, where they're very small funds, and they do outperform the S&P 500 because they don't have a lot of money to deal with. Some of them do. But what they're also not saying is thousands of them fail. So you do what you want. You can follow this guy if you want, but his fund is down. Okay? Kathy Woods is getting crushed. Now, if you're in the S&P 500, you're taking losses, but you're not taking 60% losses. You're not taking 40% losses. You're not taking 30% losses right now. You're probably not even taking 20. You're probably around 14 or 13 or 11%. He doesn't understand, and a lot of people don't understand, if your portfolio loses 40%, you got to make 40% back just to be even. Okay? So he could say what he wants. He's not smarter than Mr. Market. We'll see 5 or 10 years from now with this story fund. And he's constantly jumping in and out of stocks. I sold my position in Jeppy, and I bought this position, and over here. Dude, get out the house. Live a little. Okay? Now, I don't care if he comments on this. I really don't care. This is for my blockers out here. If you know who he is, watch his profile, watch his videos, and the way he talks, all he does is bring other people in and reference them, and all he does is talk about, he pretty much kind of smug. He thinks he's smarter than Mr. Market. Mr. Market will crush him. That story fund will get crushed. And that huge passive income fund, guess what? If I was going to do a fund, which I do funds, I do things like that. Stocks that pay dividends. You don't want to get into companies that don't pay you. So, no regrets. Watch who you follow out here. Okay? Watch who you follow. I will never tell you what individual stock to buy. I will never say, I will tell you, this is what I'm buying. This is what works for me. If you want to do it, do your own research. But I'll never tell you, Bill Ackman told me, and he put $2 billion in, so I'm going to put my money. You got to be careful, man. He's got some risky stuff up there. Really risky. He's gotten hammered on everything. He pretty much, his growth came from, he bought them at a discount before, but he got a lot of stocks before the whole pandemic really kicked in. So he was able to, in dollar cost average, and make big gains on that. Since that, he's been getting crushed. You can go back and watch his old videos. No regrets. Don't get hammered like he's getting hammered. The goal is to get there and leave your house. Come on. What's the point of having money if you don't leave your house and take your girlfriend out, your wife out, your mom out, your loved ones out? What's the point of having money if you don't leave your house? Get it. No regrets.